watching Ask the Institute, presented by the Options Institute at CBOE.
Welcome to Ask the Institute, where we explore the topics that you want to know about. I'm Michelle Kaufman, Market Observer at the Options Institute, the Education Division of the Chicago Board Options Exchange. In past Ask the Institute segments, we've discussed strategies that involve buying options. For example, we've talked about buying a straddle, which is a two-part strategy that consists of buying both a call and a put with the same strike price and same expiration date. We have also discussed buying a call and how the delta changes the call as the stock price changes. Well, these segments prompted a question from George P., who wanted an example of selling options. George asks, I understand that there are people who buy options, but who are the sellers of the options and why do they sell them? Well, George, there are many reasons why investors and traders sell options. To give you a specific example, I'd like to discuss the covered call strategy, which involves selling a call option. First, I'd like to talk about how the covered call strategy is constructed. Then, I'd like to get into how it works if the stock price rises, falls, or stays the same. And then, I'll discuss the potential benefit and risk to an investor. So let's begin. A covered call strategy is created by buying stock and selling a corresponding number of call options. For example, you could buy 300 shares of stock and sell 3 call options, or you can buy 800 shares of stock and sell 8 call options. In my hypothetical example, imagine that an investor buys 100 shares of XYZ at $48 per share and sells one July 50 strike call at $1.50 per share. The investor in this example knows that there are 75 days to July expiration and that XYZ stock pays a 25-cent dividend before the July expiration date. The graph that appears on the screen illustrates the covered call strategy. Now mechanically, this is how the strategy works. If the stock price rises, falls, or stays the same, as long as the stock price is below $50 at expiration, the call option will expire worthless and the investor will keep the call premium and the dividend as income. If the stock price moves above $50 at expiration, then the owner of the call will exercise it. As a result, our investor who sold the call will have to deliver the 100 shares of XYZ. Of course, in return, by delivering the shares, the investor will receive per share, which is a strike price of the call. On the graph, note that the horizontal line to the right of the $50 per share represents the maximum profit potential of $4 per share in this example, not including commissions. Our investor will also keep the call premium of $1.50 per share and the dividend of 25 cents. So as long as the investor is willing to sell XYZ at $50 per share, then a rising stock price is good for our investor. Now consider what happens if the stock price is below $50 per share at expiration. In this case, our investor keeps the stock plus the call premium of $1.50 plus the dividend of 25 cents. Now think about it. $1.75 total profit on a $48 investment in 75 days is over 3% profit, not including commissions, of course. Not a bad profit for that time frame. Now let's think about the downside risk in this example. The call premium received lowers the break-even price of the stock in this case. Since we bought the stock at $48 and sold the call for $1.50, our investor's break-even stock price at expiration is $48 minus the $1.50, which is $46.50. On the graph, the downward sloping line to the left of the $50 shows that the strategy can lose money if the stock price declines below the $46.50 per share. If you have ever purchased a stock that goes down in price, like I certainly have, then the covered call gives you a little bit of cushion. Below the break-even price, however, an investor has the full risk of owning the stock, so you must be suited to the risk of buying stocks to use this strategy. There are also a few technical aspects of the covered call strategy that I'd like to mention. First, stock options can be exercised on any business day prior to expiration, so the covered call strategy has what is known as early exercise risk. Also, because there are 2 parts to the strategy, buying stock and selling call options, there may be extra commissions, so be sure to check with your broker to make sure you understand the full costs. To summarize, let me say that the covered call strategy is an income-oriented strategy with limited profit on the upside and on the downside, a lower break-even point than simply buying stock. To learn more about the covered call strategy, review our basic online course entitled Covered Call Writing at the below link, or view numerous webcasts on the topic by entering covered calls in the search box of our webcast archive here. This is Michelle Kaufman, Market Observer at the Options Institute, exploring the topics that you want to know about.